If you qualify, Bank of America is giving away $10,000 towards your down payment and will pay your closing costs. What? If this seems way too good to be true, don't worry. This is an actual program going on right now that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. My name is Nicole Nark. I'm an Arkansas real estate broker, and welcome back to my channel with videos to help you find your way home. In 2019, Bank of America initially started both the down payment and closing cost grant with $5 billion. Well, now that money is pretty much used up. But luckily for you, just last month in February of 2021, Bank of America has decided to triple their initiative. They have pledged $15 billion more to help home buyers with down payment and closing costs from now through to 2025. You may be eligible to receive either 3% for your down payment or $10,000, whichever one would be less. So for example, if you were buying, let's say for easy math, a $100,000 house and you needed 3% down, that would be $3,000. So in that case, if you qualified for this down payment grant, they would give you the $3,000, not the full $10,000. So it's an either or, and they would go with whichever one will get you that down payment, but there is that cap at $10,000. In my opinion, something really cool the Bank of America is doing with these grants is this is free grant money to you. So regardless of whether you use the down payment program, closing cost program, or both, this is free money. So as long as you get your loan and finance it through Bank of America, you do not have to pay this money back, which is really cool. Now, in order to qualify for this program, you do have to be an owner-occupant. So you have to be willing to occupy the house that you are buying as your primary residence. And there are certain income limits that you must meet based off of the area that you are interested in buying in. Now, you will most likely need at least a 640 credit score to qualify for this down payment grant program. You will need to get your actual loan through Bank of America. So if you are already pre-approved through another bank and haven't gone under contract on a property yet, don't feel like you are locked in. There is still time if you haven't gone under contract to potentially change to Bank of America if you did decide to do so, and weigh your options on whether it would be better for you to work with another bank or Bank of America on this specific loan. But to qualify for the grant program or the closing costs covered, they are requiring you to finance and get your conventional loan through Bank of America. There is a second program available. This one is called the America's Home Grant Program. And this grant can stand on its own or be combined with the down payment grant. This one specifically allocates up to $7,500 to cover your closing costs. This is just amazing to me, honestly, because there are tons of down payment assistance programs out there, but there are not a lot of standalone closing cost programs that are out there to assist you. If you do decide to go this route, your closing costs may be entirely covered. Now, just a reminder, closing costs are your fees associated with using the loan. Things like your lender fees, title work fees, and anything that's not a reoccurring fee on the transaction. Now, if you do have extra money after your closing costs get paid in that $7,500, you can actually use that money to buy down your interest rate even lower. Now, if you are interested in just qualifying for this closing costs grant program, it does follow the same guidelines and qualifications that the down payment program we just discussed has. So just keep that in mind. It's the same qualifications and criteria. So if you've seen any of my other down payment assistance videos, you may remember that a lot of these programs are only eligible for people who are first-time home buyers as well as low to moderate income earners. Now, with these down payment and closing cost assistance grants through Bank of America, you can qualify for these if you are a repeat buyer, and in some circumstances, you can also apply and be eligible for these if you make more money than the low to moderate income in your area. So how this works is lenders use census data to develop real estate census tracts. And this is where you can see low to moderate income neighborhoods versus some more affluent neighborhoods. So If you are a low to moderate income earner, which would mean that you make 80% or less of the average income in the area that you want to buy in, you are eligible to use these funds to buy anywhere that you want. However, if you make more money than that low to moderate income threshold, you can still be eligible to use these funds for your down payment as well as getting your closing costs covered, but they do want you to use your money to buy in low to moderate income neighborhoods. So depending on where you're interested in buying, as well as your personal income situation, this factor could make or break whether this program would be in the best interests for you. Now, I don't work for Bank of America. I am not a Bank of America lender or anything like that. This is not a sponsorship or partnership at all with Bank of America. You know me, and I am passionate about putting out as much content as I can to help you guys and ideally help you achieve your goal of home ownership quicker. And who does not love a good deal? So when I found out about this program, I immediately knew that I wanted to make a video to share some of the qualifiers as well as information on how to apply so that you guys can determine whether this is something that you want to take advantage of. There are both pros and cons that you would want to weigh in order to see if this program is something worth applying for. So first off, let's run through a couple of the pros. You do not have to bank with Bank of America in order to qualify for this loan and possibly get a free down payment and your closing costs paid. That's awesome. Second, these funds do not have to ever be paid back to Bank of America, which differentiates them from some other different types of down payment assistance. Now, the third big pro that I see with this comes more from my knowledge as a realtor working with clients right now in this 2021 market. The market is pretty crazy. There is a lot of competition from buyers because there's a lot of buyers and not a lot of homes available. Right now, it would be kind of difficult, especially as a first-time home buyer, if you do not have the funds to completely cover your own down payment and your own closing costs to buy a house. And right now, it would be near impossible to get the seller to pay for those on your behalf when there could be 10 other offers on the table where buyers can cover those things on their own. So I do think it's pretty cool that if you use this program, you will get your closing costs covered just like a more balanced market may allow. Now, of course, there are cons to this as well. Typically, with a national bank, your closing times are going to be a little bit longer. And this also comes true when you are using a down payment assistance. So for Bank of America's down payment assistance, I do anticipate that it would take you about 45 days to actually close on the house once you go under contract. Now, this is important because, like I talked about, if you are in a competitive situation, this seller may have other offers on the table with buyers who could close quicker. And depending on the seller's situation, they may need to close as soon as possible. So one of those offers may be more attractive to them than yours if you are using this program. Additionally, there are times where I have seen sellers prefer local bank lenders versus national lenders. So what I mean is, of course, Bank of America is going to have like a local branch in your area, but your Bank of America, your US Bank, your Quicken Loans, your Rocket Mortgages, those are very much so national companies. And with that, the process can be a little bit different. Sometimes those lenders are so busy catering to so many people nationwide that you cannot get as quick of service as you can with a little local bank, where if the local lender is not getting something to us, I can go knock on their office door and be like, yo, what's up? We really need this done so that we can get to the closing table. So that's a potential con with going with Bank of America for your overall loan as well as these programs. But even if you do choose to go with Bank of America, you will have the peace of mind that if you qualify for this down payment grant as well as the closing costs paid, you will be getting a conventional loan. Now, typically a conventional loan is seen from a seller's point of view as being stronger than an FHA or a USDA loan. So like I said, there's always pros and cons to think about when you are looking at different loan options. I always recommend shop around for your mortgage. Make sure that you fill out a couple different loan applications, do pre-approvals, and see what type of interest rates you can get from different banks, what type of fees they will be charging you, and what different types of programs they have available for both down payment and closing cost assistance. So what do you think? Is this something that you would consider applying for when you decide to buy a house? Let me know in the comments below. I am really curious to know what you guys think of this as upcoming buyers. Of course, it is important to remember that this is just one specific type of down payment assistance with one specific bank. There are over 2,000 different down payment assistance and closing costs programs available out there for buyers like yourself. So if you are interested in learning more about the 4 different types of down payment assistance, check out this video I made where I go through the different types as well as provide you with a link so that you can see programs available in your area and the qualifying criteria. I will see you in the next video.